I'm Hayley Palmer. It's so good to have you here with me on tonight's show, especially as we are joined by the People's Doctor, Dr. Emeka. And here is what happened when I caught up with him. Dr. Emeka, it's great to have you on tonight's show. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. What's been going on your end?
At the moment, I'm at home and at my family house. So I've been home this weekend celebrating my mum's birthday. So it was really nice to kind of like get out the hustle and bustle of London because I've been working a lot during this week, and just to have some time off and, you know, some downtime with the family.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it, sometimes just to escape London and just to have some time out and then you're ready to go back again. I don't know about you, but I miss it. When I'm out, I'm like, one day I need to go back to London.
I'm straight back. I'm straight back in it tomorrow. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
He's straight back. Well, we're going to go into your first song choice. You've got some amazing song choices on the show this evening. I'm really excited, especially as you have chosen Michael Jackson as the first song choice. Love a bit of MJ.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you've chosen Another Part of Me. Why have you chosen this one?
You know what? So with this song, it brings me back to like a less stressful time. I remember the best memory I have of this song was literally me, my brother and sister, my cousins in the living room. And this was like the first time we really seen like a Michael Jackson concert. So for anyone who knows the video is staged from, I think it was the concert he did. It might have even been in Wembley, I'm not sure, in the 80s. And it was absolutely manic. Like you could just see people like dropping everywhere just out of pure awe of this man. And like every move he did, like, it's just another part of it. And me and my brother and sister, we just watched like, what is this? It's like, we've never seen anything like this. And we run around the house, like trying to imitate all the moves. And that's like the first memory I have of Michael Jackson. He's probably one of my favorite artists of all time. And it just takes me back. And every time I hear the song, when I'm out or it's on my phone, I just smile. I'm just like, those are the days, eh? Those are the days.
The good old days. We like that. And we're going to play it out on the show now. Yeah. It's from Michael Jackson's 7th studio album, Bad. Enjoy this, and I'll be catching up with Dr. Emeka after this. Now, I know that you are known as the People's Doctor, but let's rewind a little bit. How did you get into it? How did your career take off? Talk us back to those early days.
The early days, so like I was a little bit undecided in what I wanted to do like when I was very, very young, just because I was so conflicted because I loved like sports and whatnot. But I think when I got more into academia and it got a little bit more like competitive in terms of like exams and SATs and then GCSEs and then A-levels, I was like, I loved the competition of exams. I like learning new things. I felt like, you know, self-fulfillment when I learned something new or I scored quite highly in the test. And I've always had like a big passion of the human body. With my dad being a doctor, I'd always seen like his books and anatomy books. And when we were young, he used to get us like little CDs we could put into the PC and play games with the human bones and the human body and stuff like that. So we were always very familiar, you know, playing like Operation when you were like a kid and stuff like that. And so when I went into a med school, it was just like, okay, yeah, this is for me. And when I realized I could combine it like with a bunch of other stuff that I'd love to do in terms of my passions of fitness and whatnot and entertainment, obviously with social media and TikTok and Instagram, I was like, yeah, this is a dream right here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you worked during the pandemic on COVID wards in East London and Kent. I mean, I can't imagine what that must have been like for you.
It was really, really difficult, really, really difficult. Something is very hard to describe because it's something I never expected nor anticipated. Nobody really signed up knowing that that's what was going to happen, but we found ourselves in a situation where we just had to act. We had to act fast, we had to act smart. And I was in a position where I was living alone there and I couldn't obviously see anyone, family and whatnot. We're in lockdown, you couldn't go see your friends, you couldn't go play football with your boys, you couldn't go to cinema or go to social events or go out. It was literally just work and home. So I like started discovering new things about myself. I started reading more. I started getting into home fitness, which I promoted. I started getting on like Zooms and finding out new things I could do, you know, to keep myself busy and keep myself occupied and distract myself from some of the stuff we were seeing at work, because we had colleagues and we had patients who were passing, and it was just a lot. So, but it's good because a lot of the stuff I discovered about myself and a lot of the techniques I discovered during lockdown I've now kept and taken into the outside world. So I've learned a lot. It was a tough time, but we came out a lot stronger.
Yeah, well, it's just wonderful what you do. So we're going to go on to the next song. Desiree, I think I'm pronouncing that right. You Gotta Be. I listened to this earlier and I was like, I've forgotten how catchy this song is because it's been in my head ever since.
I actually listened to it during the pandemic, during the lockdown. It's kind of got me through, so it kind of reminds me of those times.
Oh, does it? Yeah, it's one of those songs, isn't it? It's a really beautiful song. We're going to play it out on the song show now. Top 40 hit in several countries and a top 10 hit in the US and Australia. Enjoy.
Listen as your day unfolds, challenge what the future.
Now, you're known as the People's Doctor, like we said, but also you fronted the nationwide campaign It Starts on TikTok, appearing on billboards and on primetime TV. How did this come about?
You know what? I think this is because of why I joined it, and this is my story. So I joined it on April 1st, funnily enough, April Fool's, in 2020 during the pandemic. And I think it was a thing where I was just looking for an outlet. I was just looking for something different. We'd gone into, obviously, the pandemic. Nobody knew what was going on. I was like, you know what? I need to find something creative. I need to take my mind off it. And then when I realized the power the app had in terms of giving information, so obviously we were getting so many updates about what was going on with coronavirus and what the new headlines were all the time. I was using those updates to keep people informed and keep them entertained. I remember my first video on there was actually like, it was a trending song with Beyonce and Meg Thee Stallion, Savage, and I used it to show the 7 steps of hand washing. So I'm a savage, trashy, loosey, trashy. And a lot of people thought it was like a really funny, creative way to actually help people remember just how to wash their hands, because obviously self-hygiene was something that we were trying to promote so highly during COVID. And from there, it kind of took off, and I jumped on a bunch of different campaigns and went on the billboards that started TikTok, and then actually used my platform to talk about some of the political issues. So when, obviously, rest in peace, George Floyd was killed, and it was highlighted about police brutality and, discrimination around the world, not just America, I used my platform to make a video. It said, hey, don't celebrate me in my scrubs and hate me in my hoodie. Just showing, the racial bias that can be just from a simple way a black man is dressed to how he's treated. And I think that kind of went viral, and it reached the US and then New York, and I discussed that and what went behind that and the implications and the effect it was going to have on how people see black people. And obviously we've seen since the BLM movement carry on, and we're kicking racism out of sports and out of obviously the workplace, and we're becoming an anti-racist country rather than just people who think we're not racist. And so it's good that a platform can teach, it can educate, it can entertain, and it can inspire, and it can inform. And that's what TikTok's been for me, and so I've enjoyed it so much.
Wow, I love that. You're right. It is so powerful. We want everyone to follow you on TikTok. We're going to put details on the screen below. And me, because I've only got 10 followers because I only joined yesterday. So support me, because I may just throw out some dance shapes and embarrass myself. But it's got to be done, hasn't it? Anything goes on TikTok, right?
You got to be... Anything goes on TikTok. Trust me, I'll teach you all the different moves we got on TikTok.
Brilliant stuff. We're going to go into your next song choice. Classic, ironic, Alanis Morissette. Wow, this is taking me back. Why this one?
Hey, hey, hey.
Or like the little sing-along version.
And oh, man, I'm not going to embarrass you by saying.
Come on, we want more.
Turn 98. He won the lottery and died the next day. It's a black fly in your Chardonnay. It's a death row bottom. 2 minutes too late. And isn't it ironic? Wait, don't you think? It's like rain.
That's my favourite
on
bit.
Your wedding day. It's a free ride. When you've already paid, it's a good advice that you just can't take. And who would have thought? It figured.
Yes,
you enjoyed that one.
I like that. We got a sing-along version on the show. We don't even need the video now, do we?
We did. You guys got to be singing, man. You guys got to be singing.
We got him singing on the show. What an exclusive! And we're going to check out the video right now. Now, this is pretty exciting. You have a new book out next year. It's called Your Health in Your Hands. Tell us a little bit about this book and the inspiration behind it.
Thank you, Hayley. I'm really, really excited about it. So obviously with what's happened with the pandemic and with the knowledge and the TikToks that I've kind of put out and the videos that I've kind of been putting out to the public, we had an idea. We said, you know what, this would be great to actually write into a book, because I've done so many Learn on TikTok campaigns where I've discussed topics like how to prevent hay fever and how to stop snoring and how to protect your mental health and how to recognize the signs of suicide. We talked about physical health and mental health. I talked about the benefit of exercise. I've worked with a company called Freeletics and done a lot of vlogging for them at Men's Health UK as well, talking about exercise and fitness and the benefit of that and mind health. And we thought, you know what, this would be a great book. And so it's like a future-proof preventative book of stopping you of getting to A&E, which is ironic because A&E is kind of where I work. And I thought, you know what, actually, I could give a lot of people a lot of different gems and nuggets and health hacks that actually prevent them from developing chronic disease and actually ended up into A&E. And that's exactly what this book is. It empowers people to actually learn about their health and why their health is so important, from sleep to stretching to affirmations in the morning to physical exercise to nutrition. It has literally everything in there. And I think by following the steps that I put in this book, from the stuff that I've learned over my years in medicine, the stuff that I've been able to give on TikTok, it can ultimately help you take your health into your hands and prevent you from having chronic disease.
I think that's absolutely brilliant, because I know myself in lockdown, I really worked on my mindset, which is something I hadn't done before because I was so busy in my London life. Go out partying, get up, and I would make it to the gym. I love the gym, but I just had to work on my mindset. So I started doing visualization, affirmations, listening to YouTube videos. And it's amazing how just taking even 15 minutes in your day in the morning, I know you don't feel like it, but it just actually does make such a difference because you're making positive choices throughout your day. So I think that's brilliant what you're doing. Yeah,
that's the thing. Small incremental changes which everyone can make just every day can lead to big changes over the long term. And that's what I want to tell everyone. It doesn't take you to completely change your life or go completely teetotal in one day. Small little changes make big differences over a long space of time. And that's what people need to understand. That's how healthcare is. The same way the small terrible habits that we have of eating sugary foods and fast foods and not sleeping well and smoking.
I know,
alcohol.
my diet goes out the window. You'd be so horrified.
Over a big time, but that's when you get chronic health disease, like stuff like COPD, diabetes, heart disease, ischemic heart disease, cancer. These things don't really come overnight. They come over a long time of poor habits, and so good things come over a long time of good habits. And that's what I'm trying to tell people.
I like that. Well, we are going to keep an eye out for your book, which will come out next year. So bring that on, and bring on the next song, Spice Girls, Wannabe. Oh, yes, I am a big Spice Girls fan.
Who isn't?
Why this song?
Who isn't? So this song actually is a song I remember that brought me and my sister together. My sister was a big fan of the Spice World Tour. Hey, God, did a lot of Spice Up Your Life, all of that. And so I watched it and I was like, what is this? And I remember one of the first songs ever. At the time I was living, I think, in Scotland. We came down to visit my cousins in London. And I just remember because the video for Wannabe had the classic London bus. And I used to have a big crush on Scary Spice. And so when it goes to that bit, I'll tell you what you want, what you really want. So tell me what you want, what you really want. I wanna really want to succeed. That's the bit I was like, what? What is that? And I remember that.
You love that bit, that was the hook.
Yeah, when she did that leg thing, I was like, oh. It used to be, you get butterflies every time, even still to this day.
Still to this day. Well, we love it here on the show for everyone at home. Here is Spice Girls, Wannabe. Enjoy.
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really want. So tell me what you want, what you really want.
We've got some questions from some of our lovely viewers. And Molly would like to know, if you weren't a doctor, what would you do for a job?
You know what? I probably would have gone with my first love, and that was sports. I would have loved to be a professional athlete. So I was really big into football, basketball, and athletics. And just because a part of me always wonders, what if? I'm a big fan of obviously watching it. I watch the NBA, I watch Barclays Premier League, I watch the Olympics and athletic meets, and a part of me thinks, could I really have been there? Could I really have been there and done that at the top level? And that what if, I would have loved to go back in time if I wasn't a doctor and explore that and be like, if I pushed myself to that limit, could I have made it to the top level? So probably that.
Wow, love that. And I love like athletes' mindset as well, because they're all about like
Yeah,
pushing
I
it.
actually listen to a lot of podcasts which I can translate into medicine, like the sports motivation podcasts and stuff, because a lot of the gems they give you are transferable into any kind of career. It's not just athletes. A lot of it's just like hard work, dedication, not giving up, not quitting. And I've used it in my career now, so yeah, it's actually translatable.
Have you listened to Eric Thomas?
Yeah, of course. E.T. Oh yeah, he's one of my favorite public.
E.T.
Yeah, he's one of my
He's
favorite
one of my
public
favourites.
speakers. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I was actually.
If you're tuning in and thinking, who's Eric Thomas?
No,
he is amazing. He literally is like, get out of bed, get
Yeah,
working.
he's brilliant.
I mean, he doesn't take any
I
prisoners,
was
does
literally
he?
listening to him before I got on here, actually, when I was in the shower.
I was listening to E.T. this morning. We love E.T. Let's
Yeah.
get E.T. on the show, picking
E.T.,
some tunes.
E.T., you're brilliant.
And
Get him on the show. He's brilliant.
Anne would like to know, what do you love most about your job? I know your mantra is looking good, is feeling good, but what is that thing that just kind of makes you go, I'm so proud to do what I do?
You know, for me, it's a rewarding change, and it's especially so because I work in A&E, so I love discharging patients. So everyone who comes into A&E comes in there for a reason. You don't go into the emergency department unless you really need to be there. And that satisfactory, self-rewarding feeling you get when somebody's come in with severe pain, or they've come in with a bruise or a burn or something, and you've been able to stitch them up, give them painkillers, set an appointment, fix them. You've been able to cure an asthma attack immediately. You see someone who's breathless and you prescribe stuff and know what to do, and they feel much better and they go home feeling much better. That reward, like when I see them leave the door, it's just like, get a little glint in my eye, like, take care of yourself. And I always use the line, like, in the nicest and most polite way possible, I hope I don't see you again in these circumstances. And they always laugh, and it's good. I really enjoy it.
Oh, yeah, it must be so rewarding. Well, we're going to go into your next song, Fireflies, Owl City. When I saw this, I couldn't put my mind to what this song was, but then I listened to it and I was like, of course, absolute timeless classic.
It's really weird, actually, because funny enough, I use this song a lot. I listened to it loads when I was getting ready for my medical interview. So my medical school interview, I used to stay up after I was doing my A-levels for hours, just like doing some revision on my CV and what I put in my personal statement. And obviously it's a lot of stuff they could ask you in interview. And I remember listening to Owl City Fireflies, and because I was up so late, sometimes like you just take a break and you stare out the window and I could like see the stars and stuff and all the like lights. And when you listen to Fireflies, it's just a really good song. And like anytime I hear it now, it takes me back. And when I was in a place where I was thinking, am I going to get in? I'm going to be a doctor. Is it going to work for me?
Aww.
And then I look where I've come and I think, listen, if I have a feeling like now, or an anxious feeling like what the future may hold, I think back to what I was then and think what I've achieved since. And it just puts me in a good place.
Yeah, it's so good, isn't it? Because sometimes we're in such a busy life, it's sometimes just good to reflect, isn't it? And say, hang on a minute, I have come from here to there, and I appreciate that.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, we are going to play this
when
song.
you're so anxious about what you can achieve, 100%, look back and think about just how far you've come to this time. You're in a position and you have things now that you may have dreamt of or prayed for, and now you're in that position. So think about that.
Yeah, like it. I'm feeling very motivated here on the show. Enjoy. We'll see you after.
Not believe you.
Now, we thought we would save the best till last and do a quick fire question round on the show. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Woo! Okay, first song that you ever purchased.
It was probably an album. It was like a CD. You know, back when they had CDs? I think it was Millennium, Will Smith.
I do.
It's here in the night, yeah.
Yes,
Ooh.
love a bit of Will Smith.
Na, na, na. I think I was like 9 or 10 years old and my dad voted for me. I remember it like it was yesterday. I had like a Walkman cassette player, but you know the.
Oh, I love a little Walkman, Sony Walkman.
Yeah, those.
They were everything. And dance floor song. Is there a song when you're out and you hear it and you're like, I'm going to put my drink down and I'm going to hit that dance floor immediately?
Oh, there are a few. I'd say probably anything by like Michael Jackson, like something like either Thriller or Beat It or like Billie Jean or Bad. You hear that and automatically you just get into that Michael Jackson flow with those moves immediately. That definitely, those are my dancehall songs for sure.
Yes.
Don't get me off my seat, play some Michael, play some old school MJ.
Old school MJ, all the way. A karaoke song. When you go to karaoke, is there a song that you're like, this is my song and this is how it goes?
maybe like Eminem, Lose Yourself. I used to actually listen to sing that a lot. Oh man, no, I'm not even gonna rap it now, but yeah, I used to sing that
okay,
a lot.
we believe you. And a guilty pleasure song, is there a song that you shouldn't like, but you're like, actually, I really do like it, and you play it secretly?
You know what? I'm not even guilty. I'm not even sorry, but probably anything by the Spice Girls. Like,
yes, I love your love for the Spice Girls.
When people tell me, they're like, wait, how do you know Viva Forever? What? Spice Up Your Life? How do you know all the words to that? I'm like, listen, I don't worry about how I know the words. I love the song. That's it. I'm not even guilty about it.
We could do a whole show just on Spice Girls, honestly.
Literally, I'll go head to head anyone in the country when it comes to Spice Girls.
And a motivational song, is there a song that you put on a Monday morning and you're like, this is my week, bring it on?
I think the song I put before, Desiree, Gotta Be.
Yeah.
You gotta be wise, you gotta be true, you gotta be harder. Because like, it puts in my mind that no matter how good I think I am, or no matter how much I've achieved, I have to be more. Because stronger, wiser, faster, smarter, these are words that put in your mind that you are that, but you need to be more. You gotta be gives that sense of urgency. Like you have to be, you gotta be. It's not like a choice. Not like you want to be smart, you want to be wiser. You gotta be smooth, you gotta be tough, you gotta be harder. Like it kind of puts you in that mindset. Like, okay, cool. I heard you. I heard you. I'm ready. Let's take this week on. So yeah, definitely that one.
Loving the words of that song. Well, we're going to play it out on the show. Another song choice of yours. What a song to end on. Whitney. We've got to have a bit of Whitney, haven't we? I want to dance with somebody. True. Why this one?
Dance with somebody. Hey. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Hey, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Yeah, to be fair, this is a floor filler. You can't hear this and sit down. Even now, I almost got on my seat. You can't hear this and sit down.
You have to get up. I totally agree.
You have to get up and dance.
Play this out on the show now, and we're going to dedicate it to Wendy as well.
Hey,
I've got a feeling
Wendy
she might
Wilson.
like this song. So this one, Wendy, is for you. And thank you so much. I mean, you have been entertaining us with your singing, which we feel like you do need to go with us to karaoke because it's such a classic. And also, we are loving the motivation on the show. And please do keep us posted here about your book because that does sound really good.
Thank you. I will. Thank you so much for having me, Hayley. It's been a pleasure.
It's a real pleasure. It's Dr. Emeka, everyone. Huge thank you, Dr. Emeka, a great guest on tonight's show. And thank you to you at home for supporting the show. It's so appreciated. Thank you. Now, we're going to leave you with that last song choice, Whitney. I want to dance with somebody, and I will see you same time, same place next week.